Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
Good afternoon, lovely humans. My name is Alex, and today we are talking about the significance of Barbie to LGBTQ+ people, such as myself. I'm sure we can all agree that the Barbie movie wasn't what we thought it would be, the marketing especially contributing to this. It was advertised as a happy, joyful, full of life film, this being notable with the trailer only showing the very beginning of the film, where everything is pink and colourful and Barbie is happy. But then the film takes an existential turn, which no one was expecting, but also what I believe is what made it one of the best films ever made. We all came to the cinema thinking it would be carefree and fun, but it was actually meaningful, depressingly beautiful and existential. The cleverness of the writing and directing by Greta Gerwig is demonstrated through the self-aware characterization of Barbie's character. When Barbie ventures out into the real world, she is made aware that she is just a doll, and in the grand scheme of things, didn't help as many girls and women as it was painted out for her to believe. The self-aware nature of Barbie is reminiscent in films such as The Truman Show, where the main character finds out that his entire life is a TV show, and The Matrix, where the main character's reality is entirely fictional but programmed to feel like a real world to hide him and the rest of the population from the truth. These films and Barbie all feel connected in a strange way, since the main characters become aware over time and go on a search to find meaning in their life. Barbie becomes humanized in the film, something which has never really happened because people always expect her to be doll-like and wake up with perfect hair and makeup, but as the film goes on, even with such small details like her earrings, and even the fabric of her clothing is more soft and subtle and deliberately made to appear more human-like and realistic, as opposed to Barbie's usually impossible plastic, doll-like appearance. Every character has a journey of self-discovery and finding purpose, and the film tackles many real-life problems and worldwide issues, such as the patriarchy, and women feeling as though they will never be enough for themselves, other women, and anyone at all. This film is so important, and so real and raw and beautiful in so many ways. Barbie is much more than people may realise, specifically for trans and queer folk such as myself. The character Alan, although being a minor character that only appears for a minute or so throughout the entire film, felt very relatable since his experience and existence were completely separate from the Barbies and Kens. The narrator even points this out with this statement.
Hi, Barbie.
Oh, hi, Alan.
There are no multiples of Alan. He's just Alan.
Yeah, I'm confused about that.
Alan feels so relatable to LGBTQ+ people because he's not like everyone else, and he's not categorized or treated as a Barbie or a Ken. He's just Alan. He doesn't feel recognized or fully integrated into either group. He himself is a separate category with his own experiences, much like how queer people have different experiences in comparison to cis-het people. I saw an Instagram reel talking about the experience of watching Barbie as a trans guy or trans masc person, and the comments were full of people sharing their own experiences. Honestly, I couldn't put what they said into better words, so I'm gonna read out some of those comments. Being a trans guy and watching the Barbie movie, knowing both the pain of misogyny and the loneliness of masculinity. Watching this scene, seeing women be happy and missing the sisterhood. Men are afraid to embrace their emotions and be truly there for each other and lift one another up, where women just want to see each other succeed and are happy for their friends. As a trans guy, I never wanted to be a girl, but when I saw that movie and all the women wearing pink in the theatre, I wished that I was cis, that I could have that familiarity, that sisterhood. I hate being seen as a woman. Every time someone refers to me as she, I feel another piece of my heart being ripped out, but I still want that connection. I miss being one of the girls. I feel alone with my friends and family. And watching that movie, I've never felt more alone, like I had abandoned the people who were supposed to be my friends, like I was a traitor to all women. I understood the pain of being a girl, but it wasn't my pain to claim, even though I had experienced it. I haven't seen Barbie yet, but by the comments and such, I need other trans men to talk to and just decompress about this stuff. No one seems to understand that literally there is so much baggage to being raised as a girl, but then identifying as a man. We still fear the things women have to fear. There's still so much that society taught us about not taking up space, or not being too loud, etc. And then it alters how you are as a man, and other people realise that you aren't like other men, and it makes you more self-conscious, even though you don't want to be like other men. But I also just want to be seen and treated like a regular man. Like, there's so much. None of my friends get it. They sometimes make me feel like I'm dumb for having these feelings, not intentionally, just with ignorance. And I don't know, it's just such a lonely feeling. I'm so glad that someone made a post about this. A lot of times as a trans person, I feel like I'm not allowed to relate to women's issues because I switched sides, even though they most definitely still affect me. The Barbie movie made me cry so damn hard and I immediately felt bad about it. But sometimes I have to remind myself that I lived my life as a little girl and that many people still see me as a woman, even if I say otherwise. I still get comments on my emotions. I still get people asking men just to make sure whenever I give them a piece of info or answer a question, and I still get discrediting looks from guys and older women whenever I try to engage in any academic or practical conversation at work. The catcalling, the literal violence, the fear of being drugged or kidnapped or raped by any man, especially someone you know, or being suspicious of creepy family members is way too much, especially for my little girl self. I'm glad I experienced being a little girl, and I'm glad I'm still able to make the rich and literally beautiful connections women can, but the inherent violence you experience is a lot, and this movie definitely did an amazing job of depicting that concept exactly. Honestly, I sobbed in Barbie twice. I watched it twice and I sobbed both times. It's something about the loneliness of masculinity, the isolation of being a man, and craving the connections I used to make so easily that now I feel like they'll never exist again. That line that was like, "Mothers stand still so our daughters can look back and see how far they come." Good God, that destroyed me. Sometimes I miss being the daughter that bonds with her mother. I'm glad I'm the son that's alive to bond with her in new ways, but the connections women make are so rich and vibrant in a way that I haven't been able to recreate since transitioning. Some of it was also seeing all the names in the credits and like the realization that a bunch of people in the credits probably grew up with Barbie and might have gone into filmmaking because of her. There's a loneliness in being a man that I don't see a lot of trans masks or trans men talk about, and I don't know, something about Barbie made me miss the girls' nights and the shopping trips that I hated at the time, and the road trips with my friends, and I don't know, yeah. I was wildly uncomfortable, but I guess I didn't realise how lonely it is not to be a girl anymore. It made me think of like trans guilt, if that's a thing. Like still wanting to be your parents' little girl, but knowing that'll never happen. It's such a conflicting feeling. So badly do I want to feel like a Barbie or Ken person, but I'm just barely removed from both of them. I understand so many of the experiences of Barbie and her struggle in a world like this one, but I also understand the loneliness and isolation of being a man in this world that is so focused on being alpha and strong and never having feelings. I think being trans and seeing the Barbie movie is a beautiful experience because the character that you most end up relating to is Alan. Honestly, my feelings during this film were very mixed and confusing. I strongly connected to the experiences of being raised as a girl, yet felt alienated and disconnected from all of it. I think in my head, I felt that if I let myself relate to these experiences, I would be invalidating my own identity by somehow admitting that I had all these female experiences. So my brain sort of decided to look at it from afar and not let me get emotionally involved. I also felt like I could only be stuck with these feelings, as I felt the film offered a supportive hand to only women, a chance to feel less alone as all women experience this, yet I am not a woman, so it alienated me more and instilled a sense of loneliness in me. Seeing this post, however, helped me realise why I felt this way. This isn't just about women. The patriarchy harms everyone: men, women, non-binary and gender non-conforming folk, queer and trans people, everyone. The pain is shared. I'm glad I'm allowed to relate without feeling like I'm invalidating myself. I think the people who didn't like Barbie either have no taste or miss the entire point of the film. The patriarchy damages everyone, not just women. Barbie is not anti-men, it's anti-patriarchy. It showed that both in Barbie land and in the real world, there's a power imbalance issue. The gender roles aren't equal in either place, which was the whole point of the film, to shine a light on how women don't have equal opportunities or power in the real world as men don't have in Barbie land. Everything was the opposite, to show that either way, it doesn't work out, and that the patriarchy doesn't just screw over women, but men and everyone else. As in, men and women shouldn't be against each other, but instead work together to dismantle the patriarchy that society is built upon. The film isn't belittling men. Barbieland and the way the men were treated is parallel to how women are treated in the real world. Kens were just ignored, never recognised for their talents or achievements, only treated as the love interest for Barbie. Without Barbie, Ken wouldn't exist and wouldn't have a role, much like how in the real world, women are only seen as a side piece or an accessory to enhance their male counterparts. Barbieland being the reverse to the real world is to make people realise misogyny, not to promote misandry. Gender roles are stupid and harmful. Women should be allowed to speak up and take up space. Men should be allowed to cry and feel things. We're all human. We all deserve the right to feel all kinds of emotions, good and bad. Some people aren't satisfied with the ending, since equality wasn't achieved for the Kens, but this only continues to reflect the real world. Misogyny and the mistreatment of women are still real issues, despite a lot of men believing otherwise. Kens aren't yet equal to the Barbies at the end of the film, because women aren't yet equal to men in the real world, but hopefully one day they will be, which is reflected in the line, "One day, Kens will be like women in the real world." The film is so touching and heartwarming because of all of the little details, such as Barbie telling the old woman on the bench that she's beautiful, and the woman replying that she already knows that. The movie just had such beautiful moments of women's solidarity, and the message that it's okay to be yourself, even if it takes time and energy to get there. I simply don't understand how anyone would hate this film, or feel as though it's irrelevant or not important. And even if you hated everything about this film, it's got Ken giving a horse on a stick CPR, and who doesn't need that in their life? It's got Ken giving horse giving horse oh my days.